Real quick before this video starts, I just want to say a massive thank you to Chivo for editing this video. He has edited all of the King Gizzard reactions up to this point, and I greatly appreciate it. Secondly, I've already heard every King Gizzard album, so don't worry about telling me which ones I need to listen to next down below. I've already heard all of them. This reaction is from months back, so, you know, again, don't worry about telling me which ones to get to next. They are being uploaded in order of when I listen to them. And lastly, I usually interject with, like, updated thoughts on songs in these videos. I'm not doing that with this one. I have not re-listened to this album in full outside of watching this edited video before uploading it, because I have just not felt like I had to. Yeah, this is very much like a one-and-done type album, so there's not going to be any updated thoughts. I'm not even doing timestamps on this, so yeah. With that being said, enjoy the video. Right, we're doing Eyes Like the Sky next. This album's not that well received. 60 critic and a 58 user. That's not too promising. Addy gives this a 5, 6, 4, 5, 8, 5, 6. Not the most glowing reviews on this one. I'm gonna make myself some tea before we get into this next one, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Eyes Like the Sky. This album came out in 2013. 10 tracks, 27 minutes, it's not too long. This album is not well received that much. Let's look at the lore real quick. This truly unique spaghetti western soundtrack uses spoken narration rather than sung lyrics. It's a collaboration with Broderick Smith, who wrote and narrated the story and is the father of band member Ambrose. I have not heard of Broderick Smith before. Broderick Smith was an English-born Australian multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter, and sometime actor. He was a member of 1970s bands Sundown, Carson, and the Dingoes, the 1980s Broderick Smith's Big Combo, and he recorded and performed solo and in duos. Not familiar with this stuff. Anyway, let's go. Eyes Like the Sky. Track 1, title track.
Bad white man call him the devil.
Only two more.
The Yavapai call him Eyes Like the Sky.
Imagine if I had to hear these free. So difficult listening to music for free.
The story takes place in the hinterlands of the newly formed United States and Territories in the years before and after the great conflagration called the Civil War. Men roam and fight each other simply to stay breathing. Muskets give way to repeating rifles. Cannons give way to Gatling guns. War nurtures weapons. Weapons clear the land. In the deserts of the Southwest, old hatreds grow into new ones.
Interesting open to this album. Does a decent job at setting up the context. It does feel like the opening to like a Western film or something like that. It has a very distinct aesthetic. I think that the narration is kind of cool on this first song. It's a 7 for me. Next up we have Year of Our Lord.
Chapter 1. They've been watching the farmhouse for a while, maybe all day. There were 2 of them, both young and fit and desert hardened. They were lords of where they lived, and they had no farm teaching from white men or Mexicans. Except for one thing. They hated the Mexicans more than the white men because of their cruelty. And they'd learned cruelty from the Mexicans very well in return. But one thing they did know, about an hour away with the rest of their party, 8 men, all armed, running smoothly and trackless over the rocks. One of the watchers moved away to tell the main party of what they had seen. The raid was about to start.
I don't even know what to score that song, to be honest. Well, I do. It's a high 5. I think that the concept of this album is interesting, but the execution up to this point has kind of been a little whatever. The first track I thought was good. It did it because it was it like a good tone setter. But that song, it's just kind of uninteresting. I'm not really able to get invested in the story of what the album's trying to tell me right now. I think that the Western thing that they're going for could really be executed a lot better. It's okay. It's like, but like I can see a better album here. You know what I'm saying?
They were not after alcohol. They were after guns and young children to raise as their own.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why was that so loud? Turn up my mic. It's not my mic, it's the fact that this is way too fucking loud. Hold on, I'll turn this down on your end a bit, actually.
5 minutes later.
Lucy Wilde from the Lego Movie. Okay, that's enough of this discussion with Drum Run. Oh, hold on, I didn't even talk about the previous song. Another 5.
Chapter 2. Miguel O'Brien ran with the Apaches. He ran and ran, and as his legs grew, he glided over the desert earth.
Okay, these drums are kind of going crazy though. Anyway, Drum Run. Slight step up, had some cool stuff going on with the drums, but besides that, it's still not crazy on any of this. The song's a 6. Next up we have Evil Man.
54 now. The Americans' war has not come to the desert lands. They fight among themselves way off to the north.
I've been filling them,
The Yavapai Apaches are still lords of all they survey. Then one morning the Americans did come, led by a man
The Americans
holding
did
a
what?
leather book with a cross stamped in the leather. An evil man who did terrible things to people in the name of a god that looked upon the man himself with revulsion.
I do not care about the story on the album, I can't lie. The instrumental's taken a slight step up on this one. I can't say I love it, but you know,
once more a family he loved had been killed. This time by Americans.
Okay. Nice transition. Instrumental on that one was a little better than the others up to this point. I feel like that one actually was definitely way more interesting. And it felt like it did the Western thing in a lot more of a satisfying way than any of the others. But I don't care for the story, man. I really don't. I'm just generally uninterested by the album, you know? This album is just an all-around feeling of whatever. It's like, okay, I'm doing a Western sound. It's kind of cool. Storytelling stinks. The narration's okay. I'm feeling a slightly higher 6 than the previous one on that. Fort Whippy. It's a long 27 minutes. It's because I keep pausing in the
Chapter
yapping.
3.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The Americans took the trussed-up boy to a place called...
Why is the recording of the vocals suddenly so much worse? Let's go back to the previous song. It didn't sound like that.
It is 1864 now.
No, it did. Why does it just feel so much louder here, though?
Chapter 3.
Oh, it's so
The
loud.
Americans took the trussed-up boy to a place called Fort Whipple. A fly-blown group of tents
Drops by
surrounded by a
50% every time I
stone
restart a
timber
new stream.
stockade.
If you like the stream, it
An
recommends it to
American
more
called
people.
Willis was the boss there,
So that
and he
means
glared at the man of God as he entered
The
with his
viewership will
captives.
multiply.
He noticed the boy when he was brought in with a few Yavapai girls, and he looked into the color of his eyes.
You don't think he will?
What do you make of him?
Alright.
He asked the God-man. He may be the young O'Brien boy who was lost here years ago, or he could be from the Jepson party who never made it to New Mexico, said the God-man back.
This album is boring the fuck out of me, I can't lie. It's just so uninteresting. It's not even doing the Western style in a fun way with, like, lively instrumentals. It's literally just... It's just bland. This album is just boring. I can't even say it's bad. None of the songs have been bad. They're just... middle of the road. Hold on a sec. Next up we have... on track 7. The Godman's Goat Lust.
He defiled her.
He did what?
He held a pistol to her head as he grunted away, and when it was finished, he shoved her towards the outside door. But the God-man never got to fixing his long johns or his black trousers. The young man named Blue strode softly up behind him and drove a long-bladed knife into his neck.
"2014 hyper-saturated thumbnails in order to get gamer attention." Exactly. Oh, in order to garner attention. Can't read. Walter White cosplay. Yeah, but I would need to go actual skinhead bald to be able to do that. The Godman's Goat Lust. It's like it's a 6, I guess, like a flat 6. Slightly more interesting instrumental, but still just... This album's just boring. It's all blending together, man. The Killing Ground. The Jesse cosplay. I can do a Jesse cosplay. Walter Jr. cosplay.
Chapter 5. For days they traveled.
I mean, I don't feel like
Man and the Yavapai.
Walter Jr. doesn't really have a distinct look besides the crutches, and I don't have crutches, so I can't. I'm physically incapable of doing so, I'm afraid.
Girl. She told him her name and they spoke in the language. They rode the
14
horses until they
y'all.
gave out, then their throats
Alright.
were slit and meat was taken to eat later. No fires were lit. Snake, berries, and raw jackrabbit as well to keep going.
Raw
After a week, they
jackrabbit.
relaxed more as they entered Apache area. They saw it dust way off like dust devils, but they knew it was horses. The purple mountains and red ochre earth swallowed them up, and the young man smelled his own blood as they ran, and it was a good smell. The smell of being alive.
Not even gonna say anything.
Suddenly, the girl pitched sideways, and a split second later, the young man heard a distant shot.
Longest 27-minute reaction I've done, yeah?
He dived for some rocks and watched as more bullets hit the girl. Look on his face.
Yeah.
The young man tied the horses to a tree, and they'd come in handy.
I feel like
4 horses and equipment.
with more experience they could make something,
The girl's
in the
body,
style
2 men
that,
knelt beside her while another stood
you know,
guard.
it comes together in a much more satisfying way than
Guard
this
suddenly
has up to
cried
this
out
point.
as his head exploded. The young man took careful aim, and the smaller of the 2 men felt his right leg blasted away. The bigger, heavier man sank as far into the ground as he could make himself go. Still, he could not see where the young man was.
Actually, kind of an interesting track. Hi,
The
Six.
young man by now was astride a horse and making for a Yavapai stronghold half a day's ride away.
Wait, is this the final song? We're nearly done.
But the young man would be drunk on tiswin and full of deer meat, and satisfied by their agony.
You know what I'm saying? This is the weakest King Gizzard album. Bored the shit out of me. Nothing happened, dude. Well, something happened. There was a story going on. Big, grand, spaghetti western tale. When in actuality, it was just the most like boring shit ever. Did not care about the story. They didn't really do anything interesting with the like this western sound. I am more focused on the curry that I am eating right now than I was on this album. My cat is sleeping, and watching him sleeping and doing nothing is more fun than listening to this album. Oh, I am feeling a 59. Same score as 12 Bar Brews. It's definitely going to go underneath it, though. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Massive thanks again to Chivo for editing this one. Let me know what you think of this album down below and how it compares to other King Gizzard albums for you. Make sure you like and sub if you haven't. We are on our way to 3K. Links in the description to my Discord, my album of the year, my Twitter, and my second channel. And yeah, I will see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye bye.